In this video you will learn about grid system. So what is grid system actually in Materialize CSS? Well, grid is a way of organizing layouts. So you can see this is a page of HackersFriend and these are all grids. This is a grid, this is a grid, and these are all grids. And when you are implementing your layout using grid system, you have a control over how these grids should look depending upon width of the screen. So if I will change the width of the screen, then you can see if I am decreasing the width of the screen, these are showing only 2 grids, and then rest of them are going below. And if I am decreasing the width of a screen size more, then it will show only 1 grid at a time. So you get the idea how much control we have over the design. So this is what we do using grid system. So since we are talking about layouts, let me introduce you to containers first, and then we will come back to our discussion about grid systems. So what is container? Well, rather than explaining it in technical terms, let me show you an example and you will get the idea. So sometimes what you want is all of your content should go in the center of the page and not take the whole width of the screen. And this is where containers are used. You see this element is properly arranged in the center of the page and it is not taking the whole width of the screen. And because this is everything in a container, and container is a class that comes with Materialize CSS, and I will show you how to implement that. So let's get to code, and this is code from previous video. I am cutting all of it. Don't worry about codes, all of these are given on the tutorial page of these videos, and you can take them from our HackersFriend website, and links to those pages are given in the description of the videos. So let's start creating a container. That is it. This is a division with class container, and here I can write anything, whatever I want. So let's create something like this. This is inside container, and you will see how this whole text is arranging properly itself inside the center of the page. And I am opening it with live server. So you see it is not taking the whole width of the screen and it is arranging itself properly in the center of the page. This is where container is used, and this is how you can use containers. For technical knowledge, containers take only 70% of the width of the parent div. So here parent div is the body class. You can see in the code div is right child of the body, and body has a width of the screen. And what container will do is that take width, total width, 70% of the total width of the body. So that's where you use container, and that is how they are coded. Coming back to our discussion of grid system. In grid system, we assume page in the terms of rows and columns, and each cell is a grid. And in Materialize CSS, we can have 12 columns in a row. So let me implement that, and you will see the example, and then you will have a better understanding about how it is looking and how it can be done. So how do we create a row? Well, you can create a div and then give it a class of row, and this will be a row. And inside row we can have 12 columns. So let's create those columns, and we can do that using by giving a class of column, and then we have to specify its width. So I am doing this on desktop. So for desktop we have a prefix called L, and I want a size of 1, and this is a grid. Okay, and I will copy it 12 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let us see how this page is looking on. Okay, so this is a grid. You see, this whole page is divided into 12 parts, and they are all arranging itself into a proper manner, that they are taking equal kind of a space and then giving proper space to other element as well, and they are properly arranging themselves. Now comes the actual part where we can make it responsive. So sometimes what we want is if like we have a wider screen here, so we can display all these 12 elements together. But when we don't have that much wider screen, what we want to do is to display them vertically rather than displaying them horizontally. So you can do that, and you will have a better control over your screen. So in grid system, we have a prefix called S, M, and L and XL. S stand for small screens, that is mobile devices, and M stand for tablet devices with a screen size of medium, and L stand for desktops, and XL stands for large desktops. So suppose if I want a grid like this one, and let me create a column, and then so I want this column to take full width on a smaller screen, so only one grid will be displayed at a time, and then 1/3 of the screen on medium desktop size, and on desktop I want it to take 1/4 of the screen. So this is a grid, and you can do it. And let us see how it is looking on our website. So you see, these are taking 1/3 of the screen size. We can and we can change the width of the screen and see our code in action. So you get the idea. These are not showing themselves like together on a smaller screen size. They are arranging themselves vertically. So this is how you can use grid system. And on medium screen size, they are again arranging themselves horizontally, and on a mobile screen size, they are arranging themselves vertically. So this is how we use grid system. Let me explain it with a proper design, and then you will have a better idea about how these grid systems work. So take a break and create another row, and what we will do now is we have to create column first, and then create a proper design. Like on desktop size, it should take 2 width of the screen, and its style in we will give a border of a solid so that they will be visible properly, and background color should be let's say it should be black, and then inside it we can have a text, and you'll just give it a color of white. And we can say this is a grid. So on a small screen size, it will take the width of 2 columns, and on medium screen size I want it to take width of 4 columns, and on larger screen size I want it to take 3 columns. So we can copy it 4 times and you will see how it is looking on each screen. So you can see this is a grid. Okay, this is okay, border color should be white, I think, then that will be visible more clearly. So here we have, okay, I will have to do that in each one of these grids. And now we are done. So you see we have 4 grids on desktop, and if I will change the width of the screen, then you will see how they are looking. If I am changing the width of the screen and they are showing 3 grids on medium screen size, and the 4th one is automatically going vertical. I think, and on mobile devices, okay, I think I made a mistake something here. This is why all these 4 grids are showing on the same screen. I will change the code, and what I want to do is I want to tick full screen for each grid on mobile devices, and now this would look better. Let's come back. So you see on mobile devices these are taking full width, and on medium screen devices like tablets or iPads they are taking medium width, and on and on desktops it is taking full width. So this is how you can arrange your design depending upon the width of the screen. So if you have something which you want to look like this and you want to change it depending upon the width of the screen, so if you want to display only 2 grids at a time on iPads and only 1 grid on mobile devices, and then 4 grids on desktops, then you can have a control over your design using this grid system. And you can have a lot of grids into one row, but when the total sum of columns will start increasing, then they will automatically start going to new row. So I am showing you an example of an extra column in the same row, and you will see how that is automatically going to the new row. So I am pasting this code and I am saving it, and you see how it is going to new row if I am taking an extra column in this row. So this is how you can design your whole page, and so this is how you can design your whole page with more control over design, and that was grid system. And one important thing is we have offset and push and pull in grid system. So if I want a grid like this, so suppose I want something that only goes in left side of the screen and not the right side of the screen, so I can do that using push. And on large screen size I want it to take 1/4 of the screen, and I want it to have an offset of L8. And you will see how it is looking in page. So this is taking width of 4, and this is not taking these space, and this is going here. For visibility I am giving it a same style, and I am copying this here so that text will be of white color. and now you will see it more clearly. You see it is leaving the space of 8 columns and then taking the 4 columns from last. Similarly, we have push and pull, and we can also show that using we have push, and it will push to the right side. So you see it is pushing this grid to 8 columns of from beginning. And similarly we have pull, and just like push we have pull, and pull will pull the grid from right. So we can code it like this. I will just copy this, and this should push 4 columns. This should push 4 columns from right hand side, and this should be visible from left hand side up to 8 columns. This is pushed by 4 columns from right. And let us see how it is looking on page. So this is okay. I think I forgot to write pull. Okay, now it is pulled by 4 columns. This is pushed by, so this is the space of 4 columns, and this is the space of 8 columns, which it is taking from left, and it is being pushed by 4 columns from right. So that was grid system.